Panama City at the hotel there. We got the western eye wall, just one of the most amazing experiences of my entire career.
Now, you've been through a lot of hurricanes. How was this one different than the others?
Well, this is definitely the most intense hurricane that I have been through personally, and the overall wind and surge aspect to this formed this complete devastating package that we've seen. You know, Katrina was weakening at landfall from a wind perspective, but still brought the devastating surge. Charlie, smaller hurricane, very intense, a lot of wind damage, not a devastating surge. This was both.
So, you've driven around a lot. What is some of the most terrifying things that you've seen, some of the destruction that you can describe for our viewers?
Well, sure, just the complete destruction of well-built buildings. Now, certainly there are more poorly built buildings that were destroyed, but it's the complete destruction of these well-built cinder block and wood frame buildings that are not shacks to begin with. They were well constructed and they're gone. And the tree damage is just staggering. It is beyond description. You'd have to film it with an IMAX camera to really grasp the scope of the tree damage.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a lot, like tornado damage around here. You know, Mark, I don't mean to put you on the spot, and if you don't have an answer, I apologize. Those are not my intentions. I'm just trying to get information. I have not heard or seen any information on how far the surge got in and how high that water got up. Do you have any information about that?
That is very difficult to ascertain and a great question. Even with our point-blank range video from Mexico Beach, it is very difficult to understand how high the water got because it looked like it was being blasted in by a jet engine. And so it's very difficult. In some cases, it looks like the waves on top of the surge may have reached between 12 and 15 feet. That would be a good estimation, in my opinion.
Were you taking any observations during the storm, even being in this western eye wall?
Yes, we were, by the use of a weather station that we installed on the bridge that goes over between Panama City and Panama City Beach, a high-end professional scientific weather station, and it measured a maximum wind gust of 118 miles per hour, but more importantly, it measured a 1-minute average wind of a little over 93 miles per hour and a minimum pressure of 941 millibars, which that was several miles from the center of the storm of the hurricane, which was near Tyndall Air Force Base, meaning that the gradient, the difference between pressure over distance, was absolutely tremendous. So we did collect some incredible data.
And Mark, why did you decide to stay in Panama City?
Well, Panama City itself was the safe choice in terms of the hotel, a well-built building, yet it suffered structural damage. We stayed in the stairwells, in the interior hallways, etc. We placed the camera equipment in the remote sensors and then stay somewhere where we're going to be safe, and that's exactly what we did in this situation.
The instrument that you did put out with that wind gust, did that fail at any point, or was that able to continue reading data through the whole storm?
Well, I'm very proud to say that it operated 100%. It was still operating when we picked it up yesterday morning. It was well placed. Everything about it went perfect. This is, from a scientific perspective, a very successful mission to gather data on one of the most destructive hurricanes in the United States history.
Would you agree that a lot of the damage does resemble more tornado damage than hurricane damage in some areas? And have you heard any reports of any spin-ups? I know we need to talk about the metavortices and the eyes. There's a lot of meteorology to talk about here, so maybe we only have 30 seconds. I'm sorry to ask you to thread for a break. Quick talk on that.
Yes, I believe from what I saw, this was strong Category 4, if not Category 5. Absolutely intense wind, a lot of study to come.
for joining us, and we're so glad that you guys are safe and we're able to get data out of this. We'll be back after break.